Good afternoon, all of you. So yesterday we were discussing this particular problem. Let us revise that. So we have a circuit like this where input is Vi and it is given to the gate of this MOSFET through a coupling capacitor. We are having a gate resistance Rg connected between the gate and drain. So this is acting as a feedback resistance. And a drain resistance is connected between the power supply and the drain terminal, and we are taking the output across the load resistance RL, which is of 10 kilo ohm, through a coupling capacitor. And it is given that the two coupling capacitors are having a very high value such that they act as a short circuit for AC frequencies. So while performing the AC analysis, we will not take capacitors into our consideration. We will keep a perfect short circuit and then we will go for the analysis. And please keep it in mind that whenever we are drawing a small signal equivalent circuit, we will consider only our AC input. So all the DC supply are short circuited or it is deactivated and made to zero. So whenever we are deactivating this plus 15 volt, we have to keep a ground over here. Okay. While drawing the small signal equivalent circuit, this plus 15 volt is to be deactivated and it has to be replaced by a ground terminal. So in fact, this drain resistance will now get connected between the drain and ground. So between the drain and the ground, we are having the value RD as well as RL. Both resistance RD and RL are now connected between drain and ground. Why? Because this plus 15 volt is replaced by ground and the capacitor is also in fact a short circuit. And what are the parameters that we need to find out from here? First one is the gain, second one is the input resistance, and third one is the maximum allowable input signal. So these are the three parameters that we are going to find from this particular problem. Voltage gain, input resistance, and the largest allowable input signal or the maximum allowable input signal. So if we are giving this input signal beyond this maximum value, then proper amplification will not take place or else distortion will occur. So that is the importance of finding the largest allowable input signal. And it is given that the threshold voltage is 1.5 volt, early voltage is 50 volt. That is also given in the question. So indirectly, VA is given to you, which means that you have to consider the effect of R0. R0 is nothing but the internal resistance across the drain and source, which is given by VA divided by ID. So whenever the channel modulation effect is being considered in the problem, VA will be given to you. So with that particular point, we should consider R0 into our analysis. Okay. Otherwise, if there is nothing mentioned regarding VA, or if there is something like neglect the channel modulation effect, in that case, R0 is not required to consider. Otherwise, whenever VA is given to you, that is early voltage is given to you, you will have to consider the internal output resistance into consideration for performing the analysis. So this was a concept of that particular problem, and we have already done with gain, right? So to find the gain, what we have to do is, first of all, we have to draw the equivalent circuit. Already I have explained this. So here you can see across the drain and source, we are having the three resistances. Normally, these are the two physical resistance, RD and RL. Apart from that, I have already gone with R0 also. Why? Because in the question, they have given the early voltage, which means we have to consider the channel modulation effect, because of which there exists a finite output resistance R0 that is given by VA divided by ID. So this is your current value, drain current, which is shown by a dependent voltage source. So this is voltage dependent current source, and the value of that current is given by GM into VGS, and VI is your input voltage and II is your input current. RG is the gate resistance between gate and drain, and V0 is the required output. So to find gain, we know that we have to find ID, the drain current ID. So for that, we will write the equation first. And this is our equation that we got. In fact, VGS is equal to VD. That also yesterday I have explained why VGS is equal to VD, because the potential at gate and drain terminals are equal. because the input current is infinitesimally very, very small. So because of which there is no potential difference between gate and drain. As a result, you can take VGS as VD. That is a speciality of gate to drain feedback concept. Now, as per equation number 1, we are having two unknowns. So what we have to do is I have to replace VD in terms of IDRD. So the output voltage is nothing but supply voltage minus the drop across RD. That is equation number 2. So after substituting equation 2 in equation 1, now everything will be in ID, right? All the variables will be in ID. Then you have formed a quadratic equation by using the calculators. You got two solutions, 1.058 milliampere and 1.721 milliampere. So I have to finalize one current out of these two. So what I have to do is I have to go back and find the value of VD as per equation number 2. So we got two answers for VD as well. And from our conclusion, we got high positive value. This is the most apt one, whereas a negative drain voltage will not be considered. Why? Because this is equivalent to your gate voltage. Being an N MOSFET, we will not consider a negative gate voltage for your saturation condition. So this is the voltage that we need. So that will be considered as your gate voltage as well. That is VD is equal to VGS is equal to 4.42 volt and ID is equal to 1.058 milliampere. So once you got VD and ID, next thing is we will go for GM. Why we are going for GM is because we know the equation for our gain, right? The equation for the voltage gain is minus GM into RD parallel R0. So to get GM value, you have to take the three equations, out of which you can take one equation, which is the most desirable one, and all the parameters have been given. Already in the day before yesterday's class, we have learned three equations derivation for GM. So out of which I have taken one equation and substituted all the given parameters. And in this equation, VGS is already computed just now, so that you can substitute and find the answer. So I hope you got this answer yesterday. That is GM is 0.73 milliampere per volt. Why the unit was milliampere? Because I didn't convert my K_W by L into ampere. It was given in milliampere. Therefore, your answer for GM will be in milliampere per volt. Conductance means conductance is a reciprocal of resistance. Resistance is volt per ampere. Conductance will be ampere per volt. Okay. Then we have to find R0 because that is also a part of our gain, R0. So as per our theory, R0 is nothing but the ratio of early voltage to drain current. So early voltage is 50 volt. Drain current just now we have fixed. So after that, you will get your answer in kilo ohm. Since your current is in milliampere, the answer will be 47.25 kilo ohm. So as of now, you have finalized with R0, GM, and yes, R0 and GM. And writing this equation AV minus GM into RD parallel, R0 parallel, RL. So additionally, I have got one more resistance RL because I'm taking the load output across the load resistance, which is again across your drain and source. So the three resistances are coming into our equivalent circuit picture. So all the three are connected in parallel and then simplified to get our final expression for final value for gain. So the final answer is minus 3.3. All of you please check whether you are getting the same answer. RD 10, R0 10, RL 47.25. Everything it is in kilo ohm only. I'm not going to change. Why? Because GM is in milliampere. So that milliampere and kilo ohm will get cancelled. Kilo ohm is into 10 to the power 3. Milliampere is into 10 to the power minus 3. So those will get cancelled and your answer will be, a constant, that is negative 3.3. This is the voltage gain that you got. Have you tried this? Please let me know whether you are getting the same answer for GM, R0 and gain. Yes, it is negative 3.3 because this is a common source configuration and the MOSFET will act as an inverting amplifier. So for that, you have to put a negative symbol in the expression also. So can I proceed? So the second part of the question is to find the input resistance. Input resistance is the ratio between input voltage and input current, right? It is a ratio between input voltage and input current. So first of all, let me write the expression for input current. Okay. I'm going to find the input resistance. Input resistance is a ratio between input voltage and input current. So first of all, I would like to write the expression for input current from the equivalent circuit. So go back to your equivalent circuit and tell me how you can write the expression for IA, input current. IA is something which is flowing through RG, right? So what is the potential difference across RG? What is the potential difference across RG? The left end of your RG is at gate. So what is the voltage at gate? The left end of resistance RG is connected to gate terminal. So what is the voltage at gate terminal? One of you can reply. What is the voltage at gate terminal as per the equivalent circuit is concerned? Is it VA? VA is coming towards the gate, right? VA is coming towards the gate terminal. So the voltage at gate is VI. Similarly, what about the voltage at the right side of this resistance, this terminal? This terminal is equivalent to drain only, right? All these are short circuits. So these can be considered as common drain terminal only. So you can tell me what will be the voltage at the drain terminal. How you can write the voltage at the drain terminal. Anyone? What is the voltage at drain terminal? See, these are all drain terminal only. These terminals are common only. So what will be the voltage at drain as per the equivalent circuit? It is V naught, isn't it? It is V naught. So the potential difference is Vi minus V naught. Did you got the concept? Potential difference across RG is Vi minus V naught. In this end we are having Vi. At this end we are having V naught, isn't it? See, this is V naught. This V naught is coming here also. Everything is parallel. So potential difference is Vi minus V naught and the resistance is Rg. So based upon this discussion, we can write the equation for Ia as, tell me, what will be the equation for Ia? Current is voltage divided by resistance. Now you tell me the equation for II. Soumya, what is the equation for IA?
Yes, sir.
What will be the equation for IA?
Vi minus V naught by Rg.
Very good. Ia is Vi minus V naught divided by Rg. So you can write this equation. Now, in this equation, the unwanted parameter is V naught. Why? Because we are interested only in input resistance. Input resistance means it should be the voltage ratio between Vi and Ia. So V naught should not come in this equation. So you are going to replace this V naught in terms of Vi. So that the only parameter in this equation should be Vi and Ia. Okay. So let us write this V naught in terms of gain. So what you have to do is, I'm taking Vi outside. You can take down the equation. I'm taking Vi outside from the numerator. So when you are taking Vi outside from the numerator, what will happen? Here you will have 1 minus V naught by Vi. V naught by Vi is nothing but your gain. What is the gain that you got? It was negative 3.3 from the previous analysis. So 1 minus 3.3 will become 1 plus 3.3. That is 4.3 into Vi by Rg. Understood? From this, rearranging this equation and find the ratio between Vi by Ii, that will be your resistance value, input resistance value. Tell me your answer. Rg is known to you. Rg is given in your circuit diagram. So after finding the ratio between Vi and Ii, you will be getting the answer for the input resistance Ri. All of you put your answers in the chat box. Answer for Ri. Yes, 2.3 mega ohm. Everyone got this answer? Rn equal to 2.3 mega ohm. Suchit got the same answer? Okay. Now let us go for the third part of this question. That is, find the largest allowable input signal. That is maximum allowed input signal. So what is the significance of finding this inputters? I already told you in our theory part, we should able to fix your Q point in the middle of your saturation region. Why I am fixing the Q point in the middle of the saturation region is because whenever we are giving an AC input, there is some fluctuations in your bias current also that will result in your Q point to shift either towards the cutoff point or towards the triode region. Okay, anyway, the Q point is going to shift, but this shift is, it should not be too much extensive such that your output signal will clip it off. Okay, so for that, what we have to ensure, we have to ensure a limit for your maximum output, a maximum input. We are not going to give input beyond the allowable range. So that we are going to find now. So for to find this, what we will do is we will write the equation or the condition, that is VDS greater than or equal to VGS minus VT. So maximum input means you will be getting the minimum output. Okay, so the minimum condition to be ensured is VGS minus VT. Okay, so we will go with this minimum output. VDS is equal to VGS minus VT. Everything it is in small letters. Why? Because small with caps. Okay, small with capital suffix. Why? Because we are combining the DC and AC analysis together. Okay, so even though this is your condition, out of which we will take only our minimum condition, that is VDS is equal to VGS minus VT. Minimum condition means equality symbol should be there. You know that small letter V with capital suffix indicates the combination of AC plus DC, right? So in the next step, we are going to write that DC plus AC together instead of putting in a letter form. Okay, that is in alphabetical form. We are going to represent it in the it as a sum of DC plus AC together. So how I am going to write the next equation is, please don't write anything. I'll give you time. Small letter VDS is written as capital VDS. This is your DC output minus. Why I'm getting minus? Because output is the inverting of input. So there should be a negative symbol, and output is again gain into input. So gain is AV into input. Okay. Input here I am writing as VI cap, that is change in your input. Okay. The change in the input is actually getting amplified and produced at the output terminal. The change in the input is actually getting amplified and produced at the drain terminal, so that the overall drain voltage can be now represented as capital VDS, that is your DC output, plus negative of AV into VI. Why negative? Because you know that the MOSFET is acting as an inverting amplifier. That is why I put negative rather instead of putting positive. Similarly, this VGS can now be represented as, this is again capital GS. Okay, capital GS means combination of positive and DC and AC. So first I will represent with the DC voltage plus your AC input. AC input is VI cap, that is change in your input. It is a changing quantity, that is why I am representing it as cap, minus our threshold voltage. Okay, now in this already VDS we found, VDS is equivalent to VGS. From the first power portion of your numerical, we already got VDS, that is 4.42. AV is 3.3. VI will be retaining as such. VGS is again same as VDS, 4.42. VT is given 1.5. VI you will retain as such. From this, you will cancel the identical terms, that is 4.42, and find out the value of VI cap. So that is the maximum allowed input signal. Okay, I hope you got the concept. Any doubts means you can ask. So what I'll do is, first I will write the minimum condition at the output voltage at the output terminal. After that, I will be splitting DC plus AC. Okay, I'll be writing in terms of DC plus AC. Cancel the like terms from both the sides, so that the only unknown parameter in the equation will be VI. Substitute for AV, VT, VGS, VDS, everything, so that the only unknown parameter is VI, and solve for VI. You will get the answer as 0.348. Please try to solve this. Clear? So this is very important problem. So in this we have learned how to find the expression for AV, that is voltage gain. Secondly, how to find the value of input resistance in terms of II. So first I will write II is equal to output, that is VI minus V0 divided by RG. In this I am replacing V0 in terms of gain. I'll introduce the gain parameter over there so that I can easily find the value of input resistance. And thirdly, the maximum allowed input signal. To find the maximum allowed input signal, we have to find the minimum output that is required to maintain the saturation. Can anybody tell me why I am going for the minimum condition? For maximum input, why I am going for minimum condition? We have to find maximum VGS here, right? That means maximum input, allowed input, that is VI. So why I am going for minimum VDS condition here? To ensure the maximum input, why I am going for minimum output condition. Any idea? Because the amplifier is an inverting amplifier, right? The common source configuration is an inverting amplifier. So whenever we are imposing some constraints like maximum input, means if input is maximum, output will be minimum. Okay. If input is having the maximum magnitude, output will be having the minimum magnitude, because the output is 180-degree phase shift with respect to input. That is why to impose a constraint like minimum input at the gate means correspondingly we have to impose a maximum input at the gate means minimum output at the drain. Okay. If you are imposing a constraint or condition like maximum input at the gate terminal, then correspondingly we have to take minimum voltage at the output terminal, because this is an inverting amplifier. Is that clear for you, students? Banu Prakash?
Yes, sir, understood.
Yes. Now going for the next model, T equivalent model. T equivalent model. That is, previously we have learned how to draw the small signal equivalent model. So by altering the diagram, we can draw the T equivalent model. Few assumptions we will impose, and by using those assumptions, we can remodify that circuit so that we will get the T equivalent model. So put the heading T equivalent circuit model. T equivalent circuit model. So to develop this T equivalent model, let us first draw the equivalent circuit what we have drawn basically. Okay, from that diagram, from the main common source symbol conceptual diagram, we have drawn this equivalent diagram. This is already known to you. So basically, this is your first figure to develop the T model. Okay, so all of you can draw this first step. Step number 1. To develop the T model, first you have to start with this diagram. This diagram is known to you. Any doubts you can ask. This is basically the small signal equivalent circuit where we will deal only the AC inputs. There is no DC at all. That is why everything it is in the small letter with small letter subscripts. You can see this is your drain current, which is represented as GM into VGS, which will flow from drain to source. It is a voltage dependent current source. GM VGS is a voltage dependent current source because it is depending on VGS. Okay. The output drain current is depending upon your input VGS. That is why it is represented it in a diamond box, showing that this is a dependent current source. It is depending on the voltage. So it is a voltage dependent current source. And because of the MOSFET's properties, the gate current will be 0. The input current will be 0 because of high input impedance. VGS is your input. So this is the first step. I hope you have drawn the first figure of T model. So from this model, we are going to develop the final T model. This is not the T model. Okay. So to develop the T model, actually, you will start from basically from this figure. Clear? Now, how we can modify this circuit? So here I have not connected this gate and drain together because in between we are having the oxide layer. So it is, since it is offering high input impedance, I have separately shown the gate, drain and source. Now for analysis purpose, I'm going to short circuit this gate and drain because there won't be any change. Even if we connect gate and drain together, still there will not be any change in the current flow. Why? Because the contribution or the input contribution, the current contribution from the gate towards drain is absolutely 0 because Ig is equal to 0. As per our assumption, the input impedance of the MOSFET is ideally infinite. Because of that, Ig equal to 0. Theoretically, Ig is equal to 0. Because of which, even if I short circuit the gate and drain together, there is no change in the circuit. Okay, there is no change in the functionality of the circuit. Why? Because 0 current is entering to the drain. So that doesn't make any change. So the next step, what I'm going to do is, I will short circuit this gate and drain, and also that you can show in the third step, in fact. Okay, so in the second step, what I'm doing is I am putting one more GM into VGS at the drain. Okay, one more replica, because these are the series arm only. This is series arm only because current is not going here, right? Current is not branching. Okay, so whatever the current it is coming from drain to X, drain to X terminal, it is coming towards S also. This is source, right? So from D to X, I'm showing the same current source GM into VGS. Some replica I have inserted over here also, because these two are series arm. Series arm means same current. So whatever I am representing here, the same replica I will represent here also, because same current is flowing from D to X as well as X to S, as the input is contributing 0 current. There is no current entering from gate or here. Therefore, I am inserting one more current source in the arm DX. So this will be your second figure. Is that clear, all of you? Draw this. Gautam, is that clear for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the question will be like this: develop a T model for a MOSFET common source configuration by using small signal equivalent model. So we will start with a small signal equivalent model, and from that we will go step by step, and finally we will develop the T model. So you will have to draw each and every figure and explain in your own words. So after drawing this figure, next step is, as I told you previously, we are going to short the two terminals, this gate and X. Okay, this is gate. Okay, you can mark here as G. So this G and X, I'm going to interconnect each other because there is no much change even if you connect also, because the contribution from gate is null. Just like by adding 0 to a variable, does it make any change? No, a plus 0 is a only. So simply I'm adding 0 to that mathematical expression will not make any change. Similarly, in the circuit also, I'm trying to short the two terminals. Why? Because the gate current is negligibly 0. So this is your next step. Done. Okay, finally what I'm doing is I will just tilt the circuit in such a way that drain will be in the upper side and source will be in the bottom. Okay, so D here, source here, and gate here. And you can see I have retained the GM VGS. GM VGS is being retained between D and X. This is your X terminal, in fact. Remember that X terminal. So GM VGS is represented as the same current source between D and X, but between X and S, in the earlier circuit, I have that GM VGS, but that GM VGS I'm going to change and model it as a resistance value. So I'm trying to model or trying to convert that voltage dependent current source by using a resistance. Always the voltage dependent current source will have a resistive effect. So that resistance effect I am trying to incorporate here, and the resistance value is 1 by GM. Why 1 by GM? I got 1 by GM because GM is the conductance. So the resistance will be obviously the reciprocal, that is 1 by GM. So the voltage dependent current source is modeled as a fixed resistor whose value is 1 by GM, and across this resistance we have the voltage drop represented as VGS. So this can be called as a T equivalent model. So in the previous step we had a two current source. So basically from the diagram, one current source I have retained as such. The second current source I have replaced with a resistance, because current and voltage is the voltage dependent current source it is, right? So there will be obviously there is having some resistive effect over there. That resistance is nothing but it is 1 by GM, because GM VGS is your current. GM VGS is nothing but your current, isn't it? So from this, how will you find the resistance? Resistance is nothing but V by I. V by I is 1 by GM. Okay. GM into VGS is equal to I. From this, I am finding the resistance value. For that, what I have to apply? Just apply the Ohm's law. R is equal to V by I. So VGS by I is nothing but 1 by GM. So the resistance will be 1 by GM. So I have replaced the current source between X and S by using a fixed resistance whose value is 1 by GM, and across which I have mentioned the voltage VGS. So in this equivalent diagram, I have not considered R0. So specifically you can mention there, I have not considered the effect of R0, which means channel modulation effect was not considered here. Channel modulation effect was not considered here for the analysis or for drawing this equivalent diagram. So this is step number 4, I think, right? Fourth figure, isn't it? So let us see. First figure is our first diagram. That is the basic small signal equivalent circuit. Next one, I have inserted one more current source. Then in the third figure, I have short circuited G and X. And in the fourth figure, I have tilted the circuit and represent one current source with a fixed resistance. Now, this is the T equivalent model where I have not considered my R0. That is, channel modulation effect is not considered. Coming to the last step, if you want to consider R0, what I have to do is, I will connect that resistance between the drain and source. Please recall the concept of R0. R0 was the ratio between the early voltage divided by ID, where VA is due to your channel modulation effect. That is a reciprocal of 1 by lambda, where lambda is a channel modulation constant. Yesterday we have already discussed. So because of that non-uniformity in the channel, we got a resistance R0, which is internal to your transistor between drain and source. So that is also considered over here. So please rejoin back after 1 minute. So this circuit is your final T model after considering the resistance R0, where R0 is now connected between